This was the one that I had a feeling we would come across. Okay, so here's the tweet. Society if adult animated TV shows didn't have the ugliest styles I've ever seen in my life. True. That's all I'm saying. I commented down here. I mean, like this thread has a ton of comments, and um, I am but a small fish in a very fucking large pond. Um, okay, well, even though I can't find my tweet, the point is, yeah, a lot of adult animated TV shows, they really kind of half-ass it in the art department. I'm talking about your Family Guys, talking about your even The Simpsons, but especially BoJack Horseman, South Park, like Bob's Burgers. There's so many examples of adult animated TV shows that really emphasize the writing over the animation. And that doesn't mean that the shows as an entire thing are bad. Like BoJack Horseman, I know that show is beloved. You know, I know there are people that think that's the greatest show of all time, and good for them. But yeah, it's so weird that children's animation, or I should say animation that is um that is acceptable for kids, you know. Um it sucks that that tends to be where the good animation is. And there are times when I'm watching these shows and I'm like, you know, why am I watching Steven Universe or Adventure Time? Well, that's where the good shit is. And by the way, those shows aren't like the pinnacle of animation, but compared to those other shows, holy shit, Rick and Morty, are you kidding me? Like, Rick and Morty, you could even make the case that it is intentionally ugly, just talking about the main character designs. Because I know there's a lot of great animators and background artists, character designers, ton of great artists that work on that show, and some of the stuff in that show does look amazing. But as far as the main characters, I think part of the joke, if you look at Justin Roiland's old stuff, one of his running jokes was he liked to create characters that looked really ugly. Specifically talking about his short called The Unmarketables, which I actually love that short. Because it has a good message, you know. It's alternative art styles versus traditional art styles, you know, very boring, very Disney. And so you could make the case that that carried on to Rick and Morty. However, the reason I'm making this point is I think in general, animated TV could just be better. Like, especially with streaming, with Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all the streaming services, it seems ridiculous that we can't make the animation as good as feature film. I honestly believe that, you know. But then again, taking these TV shows into feature film territory, like the Simpsons movie, holy crap! I do not like the Simpsons movie, but that is a issue for another time. And I really don't like the animation in the Simpsons movie. In fact, I've seen some Instagram artists that actually posted like actual animation. I think there was a like a Disney scene, you know, with like full animation in that movie, and you see it contrasted to you see it contrasted to the the same animation they use for the fucking TV show. And it kind of bothers me. Like, the SpongeBob movie kind of does this. Like, it's seemingly all or most animated TV shows that have a feature film, like, they look like the show, but they're still, like, animated like the show. You know, it's still, like, this kind of, like, lazy, jerky, limited animation, which I want to make it clear, I don't hate. But for a feature film, can we maybe up the animation budget? People would appreciate it. I don't like this idea that, or I don't see what argument you could have against it other than like defense of averageness, you know? Anyway, apparently I'm so, I didn't even see my, my tweet here is actually towards the top. Really should have paid attention. Wow, 1 like. We're doing numbers. But this one, my tweet, I was replying to someone. I was replying to the main thread. Wow, Justin, new to Twitter much? I said, my guess is that executives think adults are only watching for the jokes rather than the animation. I don't see why we can't have good jokes and writing and beautiful animation for adults. Animation is not just kid stuff. You know, that is something I really do believe, and I take real issue with, umbrage even, with people that believe that animation is like kid shit, or like they'll see something animated and unless there's like explicit like swearing, like, hey, it's Family Guy, you know, like just cringe shit like that, that it's like, oh, well, you know, this is kid shit, you know. There's The Simpsons and then there's kid shit. I really don't like that dichotomy. I really think that at least in the mainstream, there's a general idea of what an animated TV show is for adults and what it is for kids. Now, thankfully, children's programming has moved way beyond what it was in the 90s. Like, hey, I'm as nostalgic for, you know, the 90s shows that I was raised on as much as anybody, but those shows pale in fucking comparison to the storytelling of later shows, and not all of them, you know. For every the Steven Universe and Adventure Time, which I consider well-written shows, they have problems, of course. This isn't like a Steven Universe good or Adventure Time bad video, you know. Or I should say Gumball is probably the best modern cartoon for kids in recent years. Gumball, regular show, and Gravity Falls. All great shows. For every one of those shows, you know, there's Teen Titans Go. And I'm sure there's other ones that are out there, but I don't want to know. Because I see things like, I didn't even watch the original Teen Titans. I know, sue me. But like, I mean, I know what Teens Titan Go is. I've seen fucking pictures of it. I see it and I'm like, yeah, it looks like cancer. Looks like it's for babies. Which it is, right? So, and then on the other end of this spectrum, you have adult animation. And that has also a big problem. Let's take a look at, what is it called? Oh, well, actually, here's a perfect fucking example of a show, which, by the way, for the most part, from what I've seen, I've liked the writing and the messages of this show. It is weird that it is kind of like, Well, I mean, like, it's sex ed, and I like that they're doing sex ed, but, like, I don't know. It like, they really sexualize these, uh, like, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and it's just like, yeah, I get it. It's a show about going through puberty and, like, discovering yourself and stuff like that. So I understand there's going to be that, but it doesn't handle it with any finesse or like anything other than just like crass jokes. Like, it's essentially just like Family Guy, but sex ed Family Guy. And I mean, it's disposable trash if that's what you like, but I have watched it. It's not a show that I like or I enjoy, and I'm like, oh, next season of Big Mouth, gotta watch that. But I've seen a few scenes of it, and it doesn't seem all that bad, but I don't know. I'm not going to take a stance and say, like, yeah, Big Mouth is great or bad. I'll just say it's been pretty mediocre from what I've seen. There's that tangent. But we're talking about character designs. And yeah, I would have to say that Big Mouth has infamously some of the most just fucking, I mean, look at the main character. Just hideous fucking character designs. And where's the gym teacher? The fucking annoying character. I can't stand him. Like, Nick Kroll has like been in good shit. I don't know why he keeps playing these characters that are so fucking annoying. Where's the... Don't make me type it out. Don't make me... Wow. Okay, so that gym teacher character just... Steve. Well, there he is, but, like... He doesn't show up in the regular search results for... Oh. Well, this is what happens. Mom? Huh? Are you going to be coming back in here?
Oh, you recording?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Bye. There he is. There's this character. Okay. Yeah, just... I mean, look at this. What the fuck? I mean... Isn't one of the principles of animation appeal? I say that, like, rhetorically, but it is. And appeal... Let me go into animator mode for a second. When animators talk about appeal, they aren't talking about... like nice characters, like, oh, it's appealing, fucking, they're not talking about like Finn Rider. Oh god, Finn Rider. Oh no, Flynn Rider. Yeah, okay, whatever. Rapunzel. They're not just talking about like attractive characters. Rapunzel's 18, right? Shit. Clipped. Wait. Why couldn't I have picked like Esmeralda or... Yeah, 18 years old, yeah. But why couldn't I have picked a character that I actually like? Because Rapunzel is... Yeah, I know there's a lot of girls that like Rapunzel, and she's not the worst Disney character. As far as Disney princesses go, Rapunzel is on the better side, but yeah, Tangled's not as good of a movie as some people think it is. But anyway, yes, attractive characters. Let's go with the real best girl of the Disney canon, Esmeralda Hercules. Oh my god! Hunchback. Okay, you can tell this is my first take. I'm going to edit that out because I can't believe I said Esmeralda was from Hercules. But look at this. Is this not best girl? Best girl of the Disney Renaissance or like all the Disney animated movies? Because to me, yeah. But appeal doesn't just mean attractive characters. Like, appeal can mean like an appealing villain. Like, it essentially just means like a design which is nice to look at. And I know I had a problem with that in college because at first I interpreted it as you have to conform to the Disney style, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that's exactly what the Nine Old Men meant when they created the principles of animation. And even if they did mean that, I think that animation has moved on as a medium enough that, you know, we can have characters that don't fit the Disney style that still look appealing. I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head, but, you know, what are some animated characters that I like? This is, I mean, fucking Nightmare Before Christmas. Jack Skellington, you know, all this character designs look amazing. That's claymation. Let me see if I can come up with like a 2D film, not made by Disney, that doesn't have that like Disney style. Oh, you know what? Here, if we want to go with out of left field, I'm stepping right into the shit with this. Okay? Unironically, I think Fritz the Cat is great. I do. I know it's, well, this movie is a fucking trip, man. Like, it's, well, I mean, like, I can't even show this on screen, but like, yeah, it is the first X-rated animated film ever, but like, it actually has good scenes to back it up. It's not like a 10 out of 10 movie, you know? It's not like, oh wow, this movie is gonna, you know, it's gonna change your life after you see it. But just talking about designs, I really do like Fritz's design. I really do. I think they took Rob Crumb, I think that's his name, Robert Crumb. They took his design, which is definitely more it's more like marker, like it's very, you know, noir kind of comic style. I mean, yeah, it's like a dirty it's art that you would see in a dirty magazine, because I think that's what Crumb was publishing his comics in. They took that and they refined it in such a way that I think Fritz just looks really fucking appealing. Like, as a character, I'm not talking about like who he is in the movie, because he's a fucking scumbag in the movie. And you could even argue that he's the villain, which, you know, I like movies with anti-heroes, or like, you know, or stories that like follow the villain, and it's like, you know, you think they're the protagonist, but they're actually the antagonist. That's what Breaking Bad is, you know, which is considered one of the greatest TV shows of all time. So, Fritz the Cat, flawed movie, but like, you know, I love this. I love this character design. I really do. I think like a good character design to me, you know, is one where you just look at the character and you understand exactly who they are, what they're going for. I'll even say this. Let's go to Adult Swim. You know what? Fuck it. I wasn't trying to go to logo, Google. Why did you fill out auto results? I believe that Aqua Teen Hunger Force actually has great designs. I do. I know they're simple, but that's fine for you know, Adult Swim, you know, like a late night animated TV show. They're barely animated, which again fits into the tweet earlier of adult cartoons having terrible animation. And you know, like the backgrounds definitely aren't on the same level. But you know what? I see these guys, I see this fucking this talking milkshake, this talking like this talking floating fry guy and a meatball. Yes, I know all their names, but I'm just talking about their physical appearance. And it just looks like a show I want to watch. That to me is appeal. It's not necessarily having a Disney approved design. It's about just something you want to look at, essentially. Oh, can you draw something that I wouldn't mind spending 11 to 22 to even an hour or more looking at? The Simpsons. I think that while their designs are definitely like they're very simple, and the animation in the show is very limited. There is an aspect of like good character design in those characters, but it could be so much more. It could be so much more. What's one last point I want to make about this? And I want to show you an example of like what I mean by like the potential of like what I believe animated TV shows could look like. And I know that people responding to this video will say, oh, well, budget, it's all money, 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 money. And while that is true, I also view my belief is that I think that there is a general lack of like respect for animation. Like, I don't think that the artists working on these adult animated TV shows are untalented. I think that essentially they are being sold short by executives who think like this is what adults want. Oh, they just want funny jokes. They want immature humor, depending on the show, cruel, performative cruelty humor, racism, sexism, and they don't really care about the animation. I fucking disagree. I could go. Oh man, I could go into the new Looney Tunes right now, but I won't. That's for another video. But as far as like what I think animation could look like, I think Gravity Falls is a great example. Gravity Falls. So even though Gravity Falls doesn't have like full animation, it's not like a Disney film, I still consider Gravity Falls to be just perfect in visual style. Like, I think this is excellent. It's a good combination of like, oh god, it's a good combination of sort of the newer style, what's colloquially on the internet known as the CalArt style. I think it's a good mash of that, along with just some really fucking good background design, just like great atmosphere, great color design, and that they have like really good art direction on that show. Really good. I could make an episode on just how great Gravity Falls' animation, or I should say, how great their show looks. Because the animation is like, I mean, yeah, it's what you would expect for a TV show. But even then, like, it may not be like the most stellar animation, but it's better than fucking Big Mouth. So yeah. Yeah, Gravity Falls, shows that look like that, or have that same level of attention to detail that they have. Like, imagine if, you know, we had shows that were like, that looked like Gravity Falls, but, you know, they were more, they were written for adults, which I also have another issue with. I think that honestly, when you look at shows like this, Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Adventure Time for sure, honestly, a lot of these shows are more mature than fucking like Family Guy or like, you know, shows like that, where it's like a lot of the humor is honestly, when you break it down, just like poop and fart jokes or dick jokes, genitalia jokes, you know, shit like that, where it's like, yeah, it's technically for adults, but like it really is like some of the most lowbrow, basic humor, and the only reason it's considered mature is because it has sex and swearing in it. That's really it. Yeah, but as far as like the tone of the show, like Gravity Falls, I've been kissing Gravity Falls' ass like way too hard. What's another TV show that's great? Gumball. Gumball is a little bit more like, I want to like Gumball so much. And to the point of like saying it's the best like 2010s cartoon. To me, Gumball doesn't have like an overarching story. Like, it kind of does. It's like loose canon. Gumball is a little bit too, I guess the word would be irreverent for me. You know, like none of the stuff that happens in the show really matters like in the long term. And I'm big about that. I'm a guy who likes stories that have like lasting consequences. But the idea of taking Gumball, which by the way, I actually think Gumball's design is quite bad. It turned me off of the show at first. I think that having like kind of like the worst design characters as your as the main characters is kind of like a weird choice. I like that Gumball doesn't look like this all the time. Like, they play around with Gumball's face, you know, they'll do, yeah, like this, like, you know, he's like a fedora, he's like a gamer in one episode. But like they'll play around with his facial features and stuff, but like honestly, and I don't think I'm alone here, Amazing World of Gumball characters. The background cast of Gumball is like way more fucking interesting than the main cast as far as like design goes. But I'm trying to look for something that like gives a good example of this. This is okay. It's kind of low res, but like when I saw that they were combining like 3D and not just 3D and 2D, but like different styles. They have like puppets, claymation, you know, like this 2D character Carrie and Penny. I think has like a peanut body, but like she's a shapeshifter on the inside. See, I know this stuff because I watch these fucking cartoons. You know, they have different designs than Gumball and Darwin, you know. And I like that. I love variety. So, like, come on. Like, we can try harder. That's all I'm saying. It's like, more people... The point of this video is, I think we should demand more from our adult animation. That's it. Clip it. They're coming for me. Bye-bye.